Hello and welcome to 1 Minute Theatre Reviews. I'm Paul Seven Lewis, and if you're fascinated by show business, then I think you'll be interested in this new autobiography by Paul Nicholas called Musicals, Marigolds Me. He's already given us one slice of his life back in 1999, so his latest contribution concentrates on his career as opposed to his personal life, and in particular brings us up to date with his 21st century life as a producer, touring in musicals, and his newfound stardom as one of the inhabitants of TV's Real Marigold Hotel. And since this latter is what many people now know him for, Paul sensibly starts with a few stories about his experiences on the TV programme. And very amusing they are too. I haven't seen the show, but this did tempt me to watch it. The most interesting part of the book, for me anyway, is the behind-the-scenes story of what it's like to be a producer. In particular, his contribution to his greatest successes, Grease and Saturday Night Fever. During my time in theatre management, I worked with Paul on a number of occasions, and his book is very like himself. He rarely boasts, he doesn't upset anybody, and he keeps most of his life private. And in a way, this is where the book falls down a bit. You get very little sense of what it feels like to be a star or to be in the middle of the world of show business. Well, that's my 1 minute review. Keep watching for more about Paul Nicholas's autobiography, Musicals, Marigolds Me. The book starts with a lot about the Real Marigold Hotel TV series, and I think this will please the show's many fans. As I said, I haven't watched it, so it wasn't so interesting for me. I got more interested when he went on to talk about his career in show business. And after the many little stories about making the Marigold programmes, I was disappointed that there were actually very few anecdotes about the rest of his career. And when he does come up with a story, he doesn't exaggerate or add comedy to make them more memorable. And he certainly doesn't reveal any secrets, sticking religiously to the unwritten rule that what happens backstage stays backstage. I mean, I'm not saying I was looking for juicy scandals and salacious gossip, but just some colourful stories about the people and things that happened behind the scenes. We learn about his early venture into the world of pop music, which included some chart hits and touring with the likes of Screaming Lord Sutch, Del Shannon and The Who. But I mean, how can you tour with a group as outrageous as The Who and not have a story or two? And has he really nothing to report on meeting David Bowie beyond he didn't strike me as a happy-go-lucky person? And this aspect of the book doesn't get any better when he embarks on his lengthy career as a musicals performer, which included starring roles in the original productions of Jesus Christ Superstar and Cats. Really, this section of the book reads like a Wikipedia entry of, I did this, then I did that, I met this person, then I met that person. Well, okay, so you may not get much feeling for what the life or even the people were like, but you do see how show business works. And he shares some of what he's learned. For example, if you try to shortchange the public, they will catch you out. It's when he gets into producing that the book goes up a gear. He's rightly proud of his achievement in this field, including two outstanding West End musicals, Grease and Saturday Night Fever. It started in 1990 when he teamed up with David Ian, another very nice man, to put together a touring production of the Joseph Papp version of The Pirates of Penzance. We learn an awful lot about the difficulties of raising money, casting and marketing. For instance, I never knew that it was Paul who was responsible for that iconic Grease logo. When he had the idea of reviving Grease in 1993, he dumped the original theatre show and transformed it into a stage version of the film by incorporating new songs that had featured in the movie. It proved immensely popular, particularly with young people. And then he moved on to producing the first stage version of Saturday Night Fever, and the details of his contribution to making the show the success it was, from the original idea to stage the show, the negotiations with Robert Stigwood, who owned the rights, the rewriting of the script more than once, the discovery and training of the leading man, Adam Garcia, and the difficult decision to invest his own money, will fascinate anyone who's interested in the business side of show business. After his success as a co-producer of Saturday Night Fever in the West End, it's clear he was annoyed that Robert Stigwood, who held the rights, went on to produce the show on Broadway without him. But he continues to praise him and reveals nothing nasty about the great man. I think part of the reason may be that Paul is a very nice man and who genuinely doesn't want to be unkind to anybody. One thing that emerges very clearly from this book is the basis of his success. He is, of course, talented, but then so are many entertainers. And he's certainly good-looking and charming, which helps. And he was a born singer, but he had to learn to act and to dance. And he was never the greatest at any of these, but what he did do was work hard at them. He's the supreme example of the saying that success is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And as you'll find out in the book, his work rate is hugely impressive. I mean, for Singing in the Rain, he had to learn to dance well enough to play a role made famous by Gene Kelly. And when he starred as Barnum, he had to learn juggling, unicycling, trampolining, and tightrope walking. He certainly deserves his success. Paul has a gentle sense of humour, as when he says that even as an old man he still has fans, although now quite elderly, including a stalker. I just have to walk very slowly, he says. And that's typical of Paul. It's no surprise that he's growing old gracefully. By dint of determination and hard work, he's achieved a great deal, but all with good grace and self-effacement. And that's what you get in his latest autobiography. I give Musicals, Marigolds Me 3 stars. I hope you found this review useful, and if you want to be the first to know when I post a new review, please subscribe to my channel 1 Minute Theatre Reviews. Thank you for watching.